Cards and Comic Show. Welcome back to Cards and Comics, guys. Today I have another mail day. And, kind of a bit of a nostalgia for me. When I first started the channel, I would do all my mail days by actually opening the mail on camera and then quit doing that because, a lot of people don't like to see packages just open on camera. But for nostalgia's sake and just to give me some time to talk a little bit about things going on, I thought I would do a little bit of a different kind of video day. Probably won't do this every time I do mail day, but I thought it was kind of fun just to open up on camera. So some things going on, with me, the channel. So I came back from Mexico. Our corporate office is visiting this week. So from Europe, it looks like I'm going to be going to Spain. Oh, here's a fun card. Going back to Spain, probably this year or early next year. I'll be definitely going to Chile next year. And if found out, I'll be going to Berlin. So Berlin, Spain, and Chile are all in the cards. In Spain, probably multiple times. All right, here we go. I always get rid of the holders here, or the sleeves. I have my own sleeves I like to use, so a lot of these sleeves, especially the ones that don't fit very tight, I get rid of. And on camera, they look a lot nicer without sleeves. First card up. This is a cool card. 97 Pinnacle Certified Reggie White, Mirror Gold. And you can see some nice shininess there on the Mirror Gold. Really cool. It's a PSA 8. There you go. Maybe I can get focus a little bit. I don't know. Seems like it does not want to focus. I know I got stuff in the background. There we go. There's our Reggie White PSA. Now, the Mirror Golds from regular certified are not numbered. And the story goes on these cards. So in 96, they were not numbered as well. But in 97, especially in baseball, there was multiple printings. And no one thinks the actual ratios were correct because of the multiple printings, that there was much more printed than stated print runs. So this is like one of the first times when, basically, well, not really the first, but it's another documented case of, the manufacturer lying about print runs. Topps did it with, I believe, 96 or 97 hockey gold refractors. So that, again, multiple times, companies have been caught with print runs that were stated that weren't true. So I don't know if football fell into that same camp, but they're definitely sell for a fraction of the totally certified, which are numbered platinum golds, which are numbered to 30. And I actually have the Reggie numbered to 30, and now I have the Mirror Gold. So that's cool. I got both golds. This one's obviously much cheaper than the number to 30, but I thought it was cool to get both. So there we go. I've got the Reggie White Gold. Now, I bought a lot of just cheaper finest cards just for fun. Getting really into just the embossed silver refractor. So I think I have quite a few silver refractor base cards coming up here. Not, maybe not the Hall of Famers, but just kind of like cool players. Oh, this is actually a Hall of Famer. So this is from 97 Pinnacle. So this is regular Pinnacle, and this is the artist proof. So these are the gold, silver, and bronzes. So I think they all look cool. In a lot of years, like especially in finest, like the golds are much nicer in general in appearance than the I think than the silver and bronze on base. And then I do like the silver embossed refractors. In fact, you'll be seeing me open some of them on this video. But these 97 Pinnacle Artist Proofs, both the New Pinnacle and regular, they didn't have a Pinnacle Series 2. They named it New Pinnacle, and had a different scheme. That was the blue, reds, and greens. This is the gold, silver, and bronze. Now, obviously, if these would have been numbered or had some level of rarity that would establish them like a 97 Finest refractor would have been much harder to pull. I mean, they were tough, but they don't have near the value. But I think they're amazing looking cards. And long term, would I like to put a set together? I would. I would love to put together both the Pinnacle and New Pinnacle Artist Proof sets. I think they would be some of the nicest looking sets you could ever put together from the 90s. And tough because there's not just because the cards are rare, but because there's a lot. We're talking a lot of cards. So, all right. So here is the 97 Pinnacle Artist Proof. So again, I just talked about the New Pinnacle. So this is New Pinnacle. And again, they did red, blue, and green, with the green being the shortest or hardest to find. And you can see the difference. Same year, Pinnacle, New Pinnacle. So there you go. That's the two different artist proofs. This is a rookie, Rod Myers. I really don't remember Rod Myers. Another thing about the rookie that's kind of fun is the rookies have a gold foil stripe at the bottom, of which the base players don't. So just kind of an interesting sub note there about the set. That's how those cards are made. So like the Vlad and the Vlad Jr. or the Vlad, I keep saying Jr. The Vlad and the Andrew Jones are two examples I have that gold stripe at the bottom, which I think gives them like a little bit of a unique flair. This is someone who loved painter's tape. I do get annoyed when people tape cards to the envelope. It's excessive. You don't need a tape. You're going to use a PWE. Taping the card inside to the actual PWE doesn't really help, especially if you've got the card taped in the holder like this right here. So just don't need to do that, guys. All right, so this is Tim Salmon, and this is the silver. This is why I was showing you. It's like, that's why I don't think there's really a bad artist proof in 97. The silver looks beautiful. The gold looks beautiful. Horizontal is also cool. So again, just a really nice. It's just, when a card company designs something that's beautiful, Dufacts, these concentric circles, which again, Dufacts changed over time. Like they added these concentric circles. They were able to do some more stuff with it. Again, here is like more like the ray of light shine look to it. So they could do different things with Dufacts other than just that standard look. So I always liked it. Other stuff going on with me, the channel. I mean, some people have commented about my the videos. I don't put them out as often. I'm trying to do 3 to 4 a week, but I usually do them on the weekend now because I travel throughout the week. So you'll see like 2 or 3 videos on the weekdays. It's just what it is what it is. So trying to get more content out there when I can. Fernando Tatis, Crusade. So this goes in my Crusade set. Again, my Crusade set, I'm trying to put together one that's all raw. That goes into a top loader binder. So I can flip through it and look through it whenever I want. And this is, again, number 250. There you go. So it's got a little bit of a weird strike on that 0. So, PSA might ding it for grades. Now, I do have a PSA order coming in of 90s cards I submitted to the National. And I'll just say right off the bat, it did terrible. Very disappointed. It just, I'm having to rethink grading right now, just grading in general. I've got a ginormous pile of cards here to get graded, guys. I mean, that either from, cards I've been buying or just, sometimes from breaking. But I mean, I've got some really nice cards here, some rare, really cool cards, and I just don't know if I'm going to get them graded because right now PSA is so crazy. I just don't know if I want to do it. I might send a batch to SGC and see where I go from there. But yeah, just not really looking forward to grading to PSA anymore. I just, I don't get their, how they come up with some of their grades. I've had cards, get 2 to 3 grade bumps going to SGC. I don't think PSA. Here's my thing, and conspiracy theory. I generally don't try to play that game, but here's my. And I don't think it's conspiracy. I'm just going to give you my 2 cents on why I think it's going on with PSA right now. Barry Sanders is Crown cut. This is a Crown die cut insert out of Crown Royal, I believe, or no, I think this came out of River Pacific. Yeah. So this is why Pacific got confusing. These Crown die cuts came out of the base Pacific. Then they had the Crown Royal set, which had a horizontal crown die cut. So there you go. These aren't super rare, but even if they were, being Pacific, these cards would be super cheap. Pacific, again, I've said it before on my channel, is one card company that to me is super undervalued in the hobby, especially on some of their high-end, hard-to-find inserts. I just feel like a lot of people don't give them the credit for the innovation that Pacific really brought to the hobby. And the designs still look cool. A lot of Pacific designs hold up today, honestly. They are still nice looking cards, and yeah, so they're kind of like a cheapo. All right, I fucking got Jesus. Oh, sorry. Oh, come on, guys. I mean, are we really shipping cards like this still? I mean, really? It's not even a holder. You broke a holder apart and taped it to. What is this? Huh? What is this? Like, it's not an expensive card, so I'm not gonna. But what is this? I gotta surgically remove it from whatever contraption they built here. Come on, guys. I mean, seriously. Top loaders don't cost a lot of money. You gave me a free gift, so I can't, complain too much. So it looks like the card arrived. I'm looking at here. Pretty good. So I'm not gonna, I mean, it is, it's just, it is what it is. But still, I hate it when people do this kind of thing. I mean, just put it in a top loader and ship it. If you want to protect it, put it in 2 top loaders. You don't have to rip something apart and create some contraption to put the card in. It's just so annoying. Because it damages cards. I mean, believe me, I've had many cards shipped to me in weirdo homemade holders, and they don't make it. All right, so this card, I opened a box of this 99 Ultra, and the one thing when I researched the set, one thing I didn't realize was that they had short prints in the set, and then they had short prints in both the gold and the platinum medallion. So the season crowns were the hardest to get, and these were 1 in 80 packs. The season crown golds. So that's cool. So this is a 1 in 80 Ken Griffey Jr. insert. I got it for like $15. So I think it looks cool. He's still a Mariner. So, and it's not a bad looking card. So again, ticks a lot of boxes. It's $15, guys. And one of my recent videos, I talked about why I don't think the 90s cards are a bubble, because again, cards like this are highly collectible and they're $15. Like the bubble cards, to me, a bubble market is also like something where the prices are escalating, and all the artificial inflation of those cards are just everywhere. And it's like, in 90s cards, yeah, some of them are expensive, but a lot of them are still pretty cheap, but people still buy and collect them. And that shows to me that it's a more mature or established market to have, people buying just normal cards and collecting because they're cool or they collect that player. So it's a good example of a card that isn't worth a ton of money, but it's somewhat rare or rarer, and it's fun. And here's my free cards. So again, and Frank Thomas, look at that. He's a guy I collect. So thank you for the free cards. Just, you don't have to make up your own card device to ship cards. I just think top loader, a taped up top loader, would have worked fine. So it's one of those things where I've had so many cards show up. The worst was I bought a 57 Cons, which is a really tough set. Bill Mazeroski, which is his rookie card, rookie year. And the guy took a Pepsi container and wrapped the card up in it, in like a cardboard Pepsi box. And say like, oh, well, that's just the outer. No, there was no sleeve, nothing else. Just he wrapped it loosely inside of a box, and then he put a label on the box on that folded cardboard and shipped it to me like that. And it was just like, well, and it did grade. I think it graded a 3, and which is a tough set. So it's like, one of those things where, yeah, sometimes you can do better. Sometimes you try too hard. Comic books is the worst for people trying too hard. I've had people ship me comic books that, in the boxes designed to ship comic books. So they make boxes to ship comic books that are designed so you don't have to do anything other than put the comic book in the box, and you can tape it to that box, but they'll bubble wrap the comic book, tape the bubble wrap, put the box or the comic book in the box, tape the box again, put it in another box, wrap the box, and bubble wrap, then put peanuts in the box. I mean, it's just like 5 boxes and all this stuff to get like a $5 or $10 comic book. And so, yeah, it's just sometimes comic book guys go really, really crazy. So I left the final 2 here for last, and I'll talk about PSA grading real quick. So my thoughts on PSA grading right now is this: outside of modern, which, modern is just, you're either going to get most of the time a 9 or 10, and it's just, it's just a way to create somewhat artificial scarcity. On 90s cards and on vintage cards right now, I don't think they have enough trained graders. It's just after so many views of submissions and people who know what they're doing, and they're getting back grades that are just not, realistic. And then when you see them resubmit those same cards to PSA or to another company, and then they get something completely different, they don't have enough trained graders for these years that are very nuanced, that have a lot of condition, I call like a lot of 90s cards have these kind of weird little condition things where you might think it's a defect, but it's how the card was made, and they don't know the difference between those things. So I would just say they need to maybe take a step back and maybe quit grading so many cards and focus on training, education. I mean, if they came back and said, look, it's going to take another 5 or 10 days to get a 90s card back because we're going to have somebody who's really trained in these sets or vintage cards to really look at these cards and really make sure that the grading is accurate. I would love that, because I would rather the card take another 5 or 10 days to get back to me versus getting cards that are just completely misgraded, and I'm going to have to resend them in or ship them to SGC. But in some cases, just send them right back to PSA, and they come back 1 or 2 grades different. So, all right, first card up. Oh, this is a fun one, and it's a raw card. So, does it go into the grading pile or not? But this is a cool one. This is a set I've been really chasing for a while, and I've just never been able to really get this card because this card's pretty popular. I didn't realize until I started chasing it how people will bid this card up pretty well. It's the 96 Bowman's Best King Griffey Jr. Atomic Refractor. And so this is card 71, which means that it's the base card. And there is, so in regular Bowman, they did a preview set. They did a Bowman's Best preview. And in that preview set, they had these atomic refractors in that preview set, but they look different. They're a different looking card. I think they're silver, not this gold. But anyway, they're different. And so a lot of times when you see 96 Bowman's Best Atomic Refractor Griffey on eBay, it's the preview, which is an insert out of Bowman. This is the actual parallel from the Bowman's Best set. And so you can look at it. It's got, so this year, the Atomic Refractors have the Superfractor pattern, which is why this card is so sought after, in my opinion. Like, it has a cool Superfractor pattern to it. It's a beautiful card. And I'm going for all the Griffey refractors, so this is definitely high on the list. And it's the first refractor I've got from the 96 set of Bowman's Best. That's the base refractor. I don't have the base refractor, and I didn't have the atomic till now. So it kind of checks that box for me, but it also is just a really beautiful card. Just love this card, and this looks like to be pretty nice shape. Look at it here. Corner, corner, corner. Some back, a little chipping there. Okay. So again, that little chipping makes it probably back down to probably an 8 with PSA. So again, I think it's a great card. I don't care if it's raw. I just like having finally getting this card, because it's actually tougher to get than I originally thought. So this is the big one. So I didn't know which of those two boxes was going to have the big one. I could kind of tell by weight. So this is like, this next card is going to be a huge PC card for me. It's been one I chased. I even chased it at the National, and I didn't get the one that was chasing. One sold on eBay raw in a grade higher than this one, and I missed it. I actually bid on it and didn't get it. So I was pretty bummed that I didn't get it. Yeah. Not fun when you miss out on an auction of a really cool PC card like that in a grade I really wanted to get it in. So I will be doing that reveal when I get my cards back from PSA, go through the disappointments, and then talk about my next steps and strategy, because I will probably be getting those cards regraded. Some of them, not all of them. Some of them graded okay. But the ones I feel pretty strongly. And again, I look at the card to make sure that I didn't make a mistake. I completely missed it. But some of the cards, I had multiple people look at, and they were pre-graded, and it's just not what, one grade is one thing, but when you're 2 or 3 grades off, something's up most of the time. So here we go. My big PC item pickup for me this month, this came in September. Here we go. T227 Chief Bender. And this is a PSA 2. So yeah, this is the big T card, I call them. It's like, just a beautiful, beautiful card. Probably my top 5 of Chief Bender cards. The ones I've seen in person, like, of the ones I've seen in person, this card, the Ramley, the Cracker Jack, the T card, the Victory Cigarette. I saw one in person and I fell in love with that card too. No, it doesn't look that different, but still, it's such a cool looking card. Just to see one. Those are the kind of cards I put in the pantheon. Like, these are the cards of Chief Bender, the T3. Like, all those cards are, like, huge Chief Bender cards. So to me, this is in that top, that top tier, top 5 cards of Bender. The T227 set didn't have that many baseball players, so he made the cut. I mean, there's Ty Cobb, Home Run Baker, Chief Bender. So it's like, not a lot of players made that cut. And then you can look at the back. The good thing about this too is that this is a Miners extra back. So this is actually a tougher back. So this makes the card, and it does affect the price. In a lot of these non T206 sets like T205 or T207, there are some rare backs, but they don't have quite the effect that the T206 backs do. But historically, the Miners extra back on this card makes a big difference. Now, the thing I loved about this card, and the reason why I was excited about it was, one is the centering on the back is extraordinary. It doesn't really, it may have missing paper where I can't see it because of the eBay thing, but I didn't see missing paper on it. It's just good honest wear. And then the front is very well centered, and obviously the issue, I believe there's a crease around here on the card. Yeah, I think right around his pants down here. So again, but if you look at the front, it's very well centered. He doesn't have any issues on his face. It presents really well. Like when you sit here and hold it back at this angle and look at this card, it is a beautiful looking card. And again, from a Chief Bender collector perspective, top 5 card for me. So unfortunately, I used to own this card. So at one point, I did kind of think about selling off some of my Bender cards. So getting some of these back, like this card. I still need to get my Ramley back. But once I get the Ramley back, which I can do, I've already got one identified to go after. Once I get the Ramley back, I'll have pretty much all my Chief Benders back that I sold. So then it's going to be about getting the more rare, hard to get ones to really make the collection sing. But, this year alone, I picked up the 15 Cracker Jack. I picked up the T213. I forget which version that one was. And then I've got the T227. So that's a pretty good year for Chief Bender. A Cracker Jack, a T227. I'm getting, and I already had a T3. But again, that is to me, 3 really good Benders in this year. So I feel pretty good about it. So excited. Huge PC pickup. So you can see my 2, let's say, big pickups this month, month of September, were, a pre-war card and a 90s Griffey card. And that is just kind of my focus. And this is kind of a great example of me, let's say, executing my plan of what I want to do for my collection going forward. Again, some awesome parallels, some cool inserts. And then, I think this card's underrated, in my pickup, the Reggie White. I think that's a beautiful card. Love picking that up. There was another pickup I already opened. Sorry. I had a few more here that I pre-opened. That's not it. But the big one here I wanted to show was the 1997 embossed silver Reggie White. So I want to make sure I showed this card before, because I opened up one of the packages before I decided, hey, let's just wait and do it all one time. But I already opened this one, so it was sitting to the side, and I just remembered I had it. So here you guys go. It's an 8, but the thing I love about this card, besides it being just such a cool looking card, and again, here's our random use of the Superfractor pattern. It comes back here in 1997 Finest. I love this card, not just because it's a beautiful card, double-sided refractor and all the cool stuff there. It was $60. So again, my point is just, there are so many cool cards in the 90s that are still under $100 that are hard to get, super cool design of, some of the best Hall of Famers that are out there. Reggie White's such a good player. That's why I love the 90s still. It's not about the high end. It's the fact that I can still get very cool cards like this. I showed that this card here, 1 in 80 packs, $15, and it's a Griffey. That's what makes the 90s still so special to me, is that there's still a lot of great cards out there to buy and get. that people love, but they're not going to break the bank. I feel like today in modern cards, like everything is so expensive because wax is so expensive that anything cool is expensive. So here I'm still picking up awesome cards from awesome players from awesome sets, and I'm not really spending a ton of money. All together, a lot of these, like all these cards together, would cost less than one box of, like select, which is kind of crazy. So there it is, guys. That's my pickup day for most of September. I'll come back at you with my October pickup soon. But yeah, let me know what you think in the comments. And I'll see you next time on Cards and Comics. Bye.